Hey guys, it's your boy Quincy, and tonight at midnight, I'll be talking topic of if before you have kids, make sure you're financially ready. Let me get started. I see everywhere in the world, I see parents having kids silly-nilly without planning on having kids properly. By that I mean is like they're not financially ready. They're broke. They're living out with their parents. They're not in well-paid jobs, and they're just having kids stupidly. And the problem with that is, that creates a lot of single parents, and also it messes up the kid's life because they haven't got a stable background, a stable home life. The parents are broke, they're in poverty, and not only that it put pressure on the parents, they put pressure on the kids, and also they become obviously the kids become burdens in society. It's not their fault, which I think is quite sad because kids are when people say kids are blessing. It depends. Like if both parents are working, let's say for example both parents are earning let's say 100 grand a year each, just hypothetically speaking, then obviously the kids will be blessing because therefore the parents can give their kid a life that they deserve. Like they can out the holidays, they can give the best education, they could they can give them a good home life, they can have a stable home, like that's a fixed address, so therefore they can have a area where they can call home without having to move all over the place through council housing, that bullshit. And when parents have kids without having any financial strengths, as in like they're like low paid jobs or the part-time jobs or zero hour contracts, it's gonna cause problems with the kids. Because what's gonna happen is this year they're gonna live in like council temporary accommodation, and they're gonna have to move around a few times. Especially depends how many kids the parents have. They have loads of kids, then it's harder for council to put them somewhere decent, and they end up in the shit. And with council housing, you got to understand, if parents have multiple kids, and they're broke or in low income levels, they're gonna live in shitty areas, when it's no good bringing up the kids up because they're gonna live in bad areas, where they're not safe, and therefore they're gonna be vulnerable to gangs and bad people and all sorts of horrible things, and that's not good. And to anyone's gonna have kids, make sure. I'm not saying you've got to be rich and wealthy, but make sure you be. To me, my definition of having a kid, if you're financially ready, make sure you got a house, you got mortgage, it's under your name. Both of you and the mum, you and the girlfriend, or you and the wife or the husband have been together for at least 5 years before you have kids. Make sure you've got a mortgage, that's your house, that's under your name, like I said. Make sure you've been together for a long time to get to know yourself better. Then have kids. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have kids if you're like really young, because you don't know yourself. You've got to know yourself first, and make sure you've got like a good career, make sure you've got good education. If you've got good education behind you, make sure that make sure that you're both stable people. Make sure you've got enough love to give to the child. The child needs love from both parents, and I don't give a shit what anyone says. Both a child need a mother and a father. I don't give a shit what single mothers say. I don't care what feminists say, what fucking society says. A child needs a mother and father, and a child needs a stable home. I'm sick and tired of fucking single parents, especially single mothers say, "Oh, I can bring up my son George by himself." No, you cannot. The child, it doesn't matter if it's boy or girl. They both need their parents, so therefore they can have a balanced home life, a balanced stable family life. So therefore they can see how the relationship between the mother and father interact and how they interact each other. And then you got to understand, men and women are not equal; they're just different. You know what I mean? So, that's it really. And also, I mean, my situation, my personal situation. I'm not going to give out too much information on myself. But I grew up in a single parent home, and it was fucking hard. It was it's really shitty. Because my parents had me quite young. My dad was 25, my mum was 19, and it didn't work out. And throughout my life, when I was growing up in my childhood, I had a quite shitty childhood, and I moved around about 8 times before I turned 18. In North London, and I had to move out of London for a bit. And I'm back in London now. But anyway, and it was pretty shit because like. I didn't have a dad around in my life because obviously mum picked the wrong guy to have a kid with, which is bloody her fault, really. You know what I mean? And what was I gonna say? Oh shit. So basically, mum. Obviously, I grew up in single parent. I grew up in single parent home, and it was tough because I didn't have the lifestyle that I didn't have the life I deserved when I was growing up with the kids. And I moved around, like I said, I moved around a lot, and it was tough because obviously when I compare my life to my friend's life. And how they turned out, they had a much better upbringing than me. They become better people. You know, they're better people. They're just more stable. They have both their parents there, and therefore they can have better relationship. Their partners in the future now. I hear now they're doing right for themselves now, and good luck for them. But and there's the reason I haven't got the kids yet at 36 because I'm not in a situation. I'm not in a financial situation where I can have kids. You know what I mean? Or I'm not in a financial strong situation where I can afford to have a kid. Because it's hard because kids are expensive, as we all know, and and if you've got enough love, because if you've got enough love for your kids and you make sure you're both stable, you both have good incomes. I'm not saying you've got to be wealthy, you've got to be in there, but you've got to be enough money to not only afford to have a kid, make sure the kid's in a good situation, make sure they live in a nice area, wherever it may be, and make sure they're safe. So they can live nice there. Therefore, you can afford proper housing. There's no point having kids where you still live with your parents, because that's going to cause a lot of fucking problems, because you've got to live in shitty areas, your kids give targets for bad people and killers and muggers and God knows what. And if they fuck up, not only your life, but the kids' life, And I'm sick of seeing parents out there, or people in general, just having kids sitting in it, right? Having a financial plan in place and having a stable home to bring up these kids and having a good future. Because therefore, not only going to fuck up your life, like I said before, going to fuck up your kids' life. They can't afford to have the things they want, not just financially, but emotionally. And to me, when people have kids just sitting nearly when they're young, when they're not ready themselves, when they're not fully grown themselves, that's fucking selfish, because you're gonna fuck up your kid's life, and they probably end up in the prison system, end up being killers, thieves, carjackers, you name it. And for me, I thank God I'm still alive at 36, because I can tell you, with the life I had when I was a kid, I'm actually like, I'm surprised I'm alive. I'm surprised that I turned out alright, because I was lucky because I had enough common sense and strength in my head to know that when I look at my life, the life I had when I was growing up here, I thought, I can't have kids. Because it's selfish for me to have kids while I'm broke. You know what I mean? It's no point, because I'm going to ruin my kids' life. You know what I mean? Financially, and they won't be able to have a stable life. You know what I mean? I don't want to have the life that I have. I want to have a better life than I did. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think more like that way, because that's why you get parents out there that mistreat their kids, because obviously they're broke and poor. They got the pressure of not having enough money to support their kids. Therefore, they're taking their kids, But then it's their fault they create the situation they're in. You know what I'm saying? Then they moan about it's hard to be a single parent out here, and blah blah blah. But at the same time, you chose that life, and not only that, that's selfish. But that's you being selfish towards your kid, because the kids are innocent. They didn't ask to be born. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, before anyone has kids, make sure you're financially strong. Make sure that you've got your life sorted out. You know what I'm saying? Because once you have that kid, you can't take it back. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it back. Once it's there, it's here. And then, if you fuck up your kid's life, then that kid will end up resenting you. She'll end up fucking hating you. You know what I mean? To this day, I don't talk to any of my parents. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to any of my parents to this day, because it's just the way they treat me as a kid. They weren't very loving people. And that's why I don't have my kids. That's why I don't have any kids myself, because obviously I don't want to bring an innocent child to the world to fuck up their life, because I'd be a fucking total cunt if I did it myself. You know what I'm saying? So to anyone that wants to have kids, make sure you know yourself mentally and psychologically and physically. Make sure if you're with your partner, a wife or girlfriend or husband, whatever make sure you've been together for at least 5 years, because you've been together 5 years. That's more than long enough to know that person, the good and the bad. Do you know what I mean? And to make sure that you've been together through the good times and bad times in life. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, when you have a kid, when the situation comes up, a bad situation comes up in life, and you have a child, you know how to deal with it. Whereas if you have kids young and you're not ready, you're not yourself mentally, physically, psychologically, then when shit hits the fan and you've got to be tough time in life and have kids, it's gonna really fuck up your kid's life, and to the point where they have to go counselling, and they're gonna have mental issues and behavioural issues. And that's not healthy. So to anyone who's gonna have kids, make sure you're financially ready, and also make sure you're successful in life. Make sure you live life to the fullest. Make sure you travelled to not only different parts of the world, different parts of London, different parts of the UK. You lived life. You got your education out of the way. You done your hobbies and interests. You know what I mean? You lived your life. You did what you wanted to do out of life. You achieved all your life's goals. Like get a mortgage, get a house that's stable, that's under your name. Make sure that you have a good family support network for your kids. make sure you've got enough love and love for your child before you have kids, and love to each other, you and your partner, whether it's man or husband, husband and wife, or wife or husband, whatever. It doesn't matter. Make sure you both love each other. Make sure, obviously, all relationships have its ups and downs, which is fine. But make sure you've got enough love, so therefore you stick together for good time, bad time, before you have kids, yeah? Because the last thing you want is to have a kid, yeah? When you're really young, you don't know yourself, you don't know you don't know your good, you don't know your warts and bad bits about yourself, yeah? If you don't know that and you have a kid, and when life really hits you, when times are hard, you can implode, you can not only destroy your kid's life, not only that, you get to a point where you have to mind for kids, you give up your life, give up your kids for adoption or fostering, and that can really fuck up a kid's heads. I know. I've been in that messy situation myself almost. You know what I mean? It's not good. Not adoption, but like I've been in situations where I felt not love my parents, and it's not good. That's why I don't have kids. That's why I don't have kids myself yet. You know. And you know, I don't think unless I'm earning 50 grand a year or more, I'm not having kids. So it's not worth it. I can't afford them. You know what I mean? It's not fair. So to anyone thinking of kids. Anyone having kids, anyone thinking to have children, make sure you're ready. Make sure you're sorted financially. Make sure you've got a home in place. Because you don't want to bring up a kid in a council home, especially when councils they put you in temporary accommodation. It's not good. That's not good for yourself or your kids. Because therefore the kids will end up not unstable. They end up being unsettled. They're not going to do with education. They're not going to do it at school. They're going to end up playing truant. They're going to have behavioural problems. They're going to get on other fellow students at school or college, whatever you, and it's going to mess up the kids forever. And also, it's going to get to the point where they will have to go counselling for the rest of their life because of the shit childhood they have, all because the parents made fucking poor choices. And that's why I ain't got respect for single parents, especially the ones that made poor choices about having kids. They made choice. They have kids before they made better choices. You know what I'm saying? They have kids before. They have kids before they even planned properly. I've got no respect for parents like that. You know, the only person I respect here is parents that had kids in a good situation where they're married, or not even they don't have to be married, but they've been together for at least 5 years. The boyfriend and the girlfriend, the husband and wife, and they know each other. They've been together through the good and the bad times in life, and you know. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses, so when the kid comes in, they know what to do. Say, for example, the wife got sick, obviously the husband has to look after the kid, or the husband gets sick, the wife now has to look after the kid. You know what I mean? Whereas if you have kids in a poor situation, your life could be fucking shit, and therefore the kid's you can't give the kid the life it deserves. You know what I mean? So say, for example, the kid wants to go to university, you don't have no savings in place to put towards the kid's education. So therefore, that's the right about being a broke university student. You know what I'm saying? Or say the kid wants to get a mortgage for a house or something, you haven't got no savings in place to help your kid get a house, or just a deposit to anything they want to do, or if they want to travel, or you know what I mean. You can't help that kid because you're broke yourself. You ain't got no money yourself, so you can't support your child. You know what I mean? When they go through tough times, when they get older in life, that's why I say to people, listen. Before you have kids, make sure you think about it. Make sure you plan properly. If you don't plan properly, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. I've got no respect for you. You're gonna fuck up your life, you're gonna fuck your kid's life, and that kid will end up probably resenting you for the rest of their life. And they're gonna have a lot of problems that are gonna affect their relationships when they go into the world. When they meet people, the people they meet in their relationship, they're gonna find it hard to interact with people because obviously they didn't have that strong family bond with their parents. You know what I mean? Because they grew up poor themselves. So, and it's really sad because you know I know people out there that have got loads of kids that got children that shouldn't have kids. Yeah, and I know people that will make great parents here because they can't have kids. One can't have kids because due to medical reasons they can't have kids, and that's sad. But then it's the way of the world, unfortunately, and it's really sad. I just wish people plan properly and think before they have kids, you know, and whatever. Anyway, listen, it's your boy Quincy. If you like this video, please subscribe and I'm out.